And if there's no further questions, I would like to invite Ms. Jennifer Mauritzen. Ms. Jessica Mauritzen, who will describe her unique pedagogy and how it's impacting here the students at Riverside Brookfield High School.
Come on up, Jessica.
Hi there. Want me to sit or?
Sure.
This thing has a lot of us, but.
I'm assuming these are your handouts too.
Yeah, so I gave you some handouts because I'm doing something totally different this year. I was lucky enough to attend a OWL conference, which is basically organic world language. And it has transformed my classroom just to, it's the most joyous I've ever been in class, and I think I see the students being really joyous too. What you have in front of you is Spanish 1. The first page specifically, the students never even taken a Spanish class before. And I was just so impressed with it. I basically have no desks and no chairs in my classroom, and it sounds really weird, but the premise is it's very communicative. When language happens, you're talking. You have to be talking all the time. You're communicating with people. You're having, you're based on content. And I have so many students, and the premise is that they are talking all the time. And they're listening to me. It's completely immersive, so I don't speak any English. And the first week, I didn't speak any English, and I played games with them. But it was all in Spanish. And so the first week, I got some weird looks at me, but they're trying to infer what you're saying, just like you would do with someone who doesn't speak another language. You have to try and figure out what they're saying. And it's all comprehensible based. So it's based on research by Stephen Krashen, who's a linguist, and basically saying that if you can't understand what's happening in the classroom, you're not going to be understanding the language. So the first week I taught them all about just building a community. That was the most important thing, so they have a safe place. And then I taught them about how language acquisition occurs in English, and I kind of broke it down. And so now we're guided by the principles of language proficiency. So the kids just end up doing an online portfolio, and that was one of their submissions, was writing. And then the second part was speaking, and then in Schoology they evaluated their own proficiency level. So I'm a novice low, I'm a novice mid, this is where I am. I'm listing, I'm describing, and kind of the goal is to push themselves up the proficiency scale. So
I thought it was kind of, one day I'm walking by Jessica's classroom and it's just an empty room. And there's all these kids walking around, or some sitting on the radiator, some sitting on the floor, and Senior Mauritzen, what's going on? I got my 5 words I still remember from my freshman Spanish class. I would go in there, and so Dr. Freitas and I wanted to highlight, and that's something we're going to try to do more throughout the year, is bring teachers and the great things they're doing in their classrooms during the principal's report to the board for recognition. So Jessica's doing an outstanding job. So Hector, thank you for bringing Jessica forward and recognizing her. And Jessica, you've done a great job. You're also really big with the Chromebooks. I know.
Yeah.
There was something was it this year you were doing, or was last year where they were Skyping or doing something?
Yeah, so I got my National Geographic certification last year, and we ended up Skyping with Paul Rose, who's a Arctic explorer, and we had a conversation with a man who's walking, I think it's for 10 years. He's doing slow journalism all around the world. So we did a Skype with him. We were on, it's called Exploring Through the Seat of Your Pants. And so there's just so many opportunities. I've really been very fortunate. The administration has been really supportive. This Ms. Lindquist over here, I've asked her a million times for just different ideas, and she's been so supportive. And I've just had so much fun at the school. It's really, this year is just, like I said, it's opened so many doors. I think every year has been even more different. And we're going to be presenting, my colleague and I are going to be presenting on service learning in the classroom this Friday at our regional Illinois Council of Foreign Languages, and then I'll be presenting on this new methodology, OWL. I'll be doing 2 sessions there as well. So
Congratulations.
I'm really excited. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, and thanks for all the support. It's been really fun.
And you recently just got a grant, you told me today?
I just got a grant. Yeah, I got a kindness grant today, which
to help with communication.
It's for the school. It's based on the butterfly effect of one person can, and a butterfly flaps its wings, a small change can happen. So I applied for this. We've been working with this organization called We, and they provided us free speakers, and we get to go to We Day at the Allstate Arena. Nice. And so they had this grant along with Hershey's, and I thought, I'm just going to apply for it. And so we got a $250 grant to see how our students can make the biggest change. And I'm working with the administration to figure out how we can do that. So I'm really excited.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Good job.
Thank you.
Hey, Jessica, and if I could just add, I'm so proud of you because your pedagogy aligns with science. Oracy facilitates literacy. You know, as a former language teacher, I see this writing. This is level 2, level 3 stuff doing in year 1. So I'm so proud of your efforts. I'm so proud of your instruction. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Keep
Dr.
it up.
Freitas. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all of you.
Yeah, I can't believe this comes from first year.
Well, I have to say, too, the prompt for that, I actually got that from ISTE. They have an amazing organization. So I got it from Twitter, actually. It was an alternate assignment, and the assignment was, show me what you know. And so that's all I told them. There was nothing else, and they just sat there, and some kids came in after school, and they said, I didn't get to fill in enough. I want to do more. And some kids decided to draw because they wanted to show, I don't know how to say this, but I know how to do this. And again, the goal is just to push their proficiency as high as they can. And I have kids with special needs in this class with IEPs, so it's been really fun and really enjoyable and very different, but I wouldn't have been able to do it without the support of the administration to really try something new and jump in wholeheartedly. So thank you.
Great job. Does the board have any other questions for Jessica?
Is this only for first year Spanish, or is
This is
it
level 1
level
after 7-8 weeks, I think.
Okay.
This is a picture of the classroom.
Yeah, and then I included some pictures in the back.
We had a video, but it
I
wasn't.
did have a video, and they will be on RBTV. Dr. Freitas and Zach Cameron from RBTV have been working really hard to highlight our classroom and kind of seeing what's going on. But that was today. The kids were they were playing the songs. And after we did our portfolio on Schoology, I said, how else can you push your language outside the classroom? And some of them said flashcards and things like that. And I said, well, okay, how many of you are actually going to do flashcards? What about songs, and what about authentic things like watching a show? So I compiled a whole bunch of music together, and the kids were singing today in the classroom. So that big long picture is them singing some of the songs, and I heard them outside the classroom. I had to close the door because they're so loud. And it looks like play, but it's so comprehensible because they're going along with the actions, or they decided to sing, and it's all levels. So even it's looking at what they can do and not what they can't do.
So, just a question, Brad. When you think of a traditional or an older style language class, there's learning the verbs and how to conjugate that. How does that get assessed, or is it necessary to get assessed, or?
So our state standards actually just changed. They're aligned with world language state standards, and so they're proficiency based. And so it is, but we realized that, again, what Dr. Freitas is saying based on the most current research is that it's the content that matters more. And when you get the content and you start talking about things, it comes naturally. Like these kids, I didn't explicitly teach them verbs, but we talked and we had conversations just like we're doing now, or just like we do with our children. And so it naturally occurs. And so while you might focus on more of that at the later levels, the most important stuff now is the content, creating thicker sentences. Right now, like a novice, a low might just be able to list, and then we're working towards describing. So constantly pushing them up that, it comes naturally. So it's a little bit different from how it used to be.
Jess, great job.
Thank you.
Foreign language wasn't that fun in the 80s, I'll tell you that.